We'll see if this one does it in 20-minute increments.
I really hope not. Well, that one does it in 10 because I played with the settings to get a sharper image. It does it in 10. Yeah. Hi, folks. If you're wondering,
welcome to the show.
Welcome back. We're back. Yay!
We're back. I'm back.
She's back.
I'm Beth. Just Beth.
I'm Mark.
I'm back. Welcome to Discussions with Davis.
If you were wondering what we were talking about a few minutes ago, we have 2 cameras now.
Ooh,
yeah,
fancy.
Camera 1, camera 2. I'm going to stop now because I can do that all day.
You really could, and
for my own amusement, yes.
Yeah.
I'm easily amused that way.
He really is, but
it's the simple pleasures in life, you know.
And speaking of simple pleasures, we have been on vacation.
Yeah.
It was nice, and now I feel like I need another vacation to recover from my vacation.
Well, this particular vacation involved a lot of travel, and that can be a little taxing and tiring.
Especially when you have an autistic 7-year-old.
Yes.
So vacationing when you're a parent, if you're taking your kids with you, it's not really a vacation. It's just parenting in a different, more difficult environment.
Yes, you learn to adapt fast. It's just finding new places and new ways to parent. It's an adventure.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We went on a cruise. It was a great time, a lot of fun with the family. We went to Catalina Island and Ensenada, Mexico.
Yeah, my mom, she said she's been wanting to take the whole family on a cruise. And when she first approached me about taking this cruise about 4 or 5 months ago, she had just come off another cruise to Hawaii that she absolutely hated and just had the worst time in her life on this cruise. And then like a few weeks later, she's like, Beth, how do you feel about going on a cruise? It's like, Mom, let me just stop you right there. What did we just experience? Did we not learn anything? And she's like, no, this is just going to be a 4-day cruise, not a 2-week cruise. It's like, okay.
It was 2 weeks at sea. Well, the main problem was your mom gets seasick.
Yeah.
So going on a cruise, no matter what cruise line it was, no matter what destination it was, getting seasick is...
the one we went on is a 4-day cruise. Wasn't as bad because we were still somewhat near land.
Yeah.
Going to Hawaii, you were out in the open ocean for several days, and
it's like almost 1,000 miles from the California coast to Hawaii.
I'm not completely sure, but it took them 2 weeks.
I realized my mic was down really low.
Like a week there, spent a few days, and a week back.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I sound better way better now.
Yeah. So she had just gotten back from that cruise, and then she's like, well, there's this cruise that's leaving on your birthday. And I was like, okay. And she's like, how do you feel about taking this cruise? And I was like, at first I was like, okay, this cruise is, something she wants to do, but it's around my birthday, so she's obviously using my birthday as an excuse to do it. And it's also just a cop out, hey, this is your present, even though the whole family's going. So I was like, okay, whatever. Not feeling all that great about it, to be honest. Plus, it's something I never done before. I didn't know what to expect. I was really anxious leading up to it, and especially the week right before we left, because my grandmother was hospitalized on Christmas.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure what was going to happen because this was a non-refundable trip. And my grandma was still in the hospital like up until the day before we left. And it was just a really stressful time because, I was freaking out. It's like, I've never been on a cruise before. Neither me
Nope.
Mark or my brother who came with us have ever been on a cruise before. We have no idea what to do, where we're going, what we're doing, and I was just like freaking out.
Yeah, I mean, through most of my life, somebody says, "Hey, you want to go on a cruise?" May as well be asking me, "Do you want to go to Mars?"
Right?
It's like, are you serious? Are you from this planet?
But at the last minute, my grandma came home, and my mom and my stepdad was able to go, so that made it hell of a lot easier. Oh my god, checking in, if we didn't have them, checking in would have been a nightmare.
A lot, yeah, good deal more stressful.
Yeah. I mean, we went on a Carnival cruise, and it was a very nice cruise. I mean,
the crew, the staff, they did a lot of hard work.
The staff was great.
Our cabin,
we were assigned a I don't want to call him a cabin boy. It's a
quartermaster,
something like that. He was assigned. He was the person who came in, cleaned our cabin, and was responsible for bringing us anything we needed.
Yeah, Darmar,
yeah, and he was very nice.
He was a pro.
He's got to have like a very large hippocampus because he remembered everyone's name.
Yeah,
he we started the cruise. And, we're sitting there waiting for all the luggage to arrive in the cabin. And he comes by and knocks on the door. He's like, I'll be taking care of you. I'm so-and-so. What's your name? Everyone always wanted to know your name.
Yeah.
And we told him, it's like, well, I'm Beth. He's Mark. And
smiles. Gave us a business card. He had business cards.
And the rest of the cruise, anytime he saw us, he's like, oh, hi, Beth. Hi, Mr. Mark. Hi, Beth. He's very...
It's like, it's easy to remember his name. We've got his business card.
Yeah, and he's one person.
And he's got a name tag.
And he's one person. And he's got, like, all these other cabins he's taking care of. And he remembered my mom and stepdad's name. And
yeah.
He remembered everyone's name.
It's, coming up and down the hallway and running into them. It's like, I kind of felt bad because we were on that boat for a couple of days. I didn't take time to get to know any of the other staff, even though I kept seeing them over and over again, because it's like...
Well, I mean, he was really the only one that was, interacting with us other than the wait staffs and stuff like that.
True. But I could have made more of an effort there.
But I'm sure he's used to it.
Yeah. Well, the other ones, like, you see them all the time, and they give the classic Pan Am smile and everything. But it's like, well, what's happened is usually, it's like, when you go to a restaurant and you sit down, or you go to a store and you interact with this person for like a minute or two, and then you don't see them again, even if it's like one of your favorite restaurants, you don't see them for like a month.
Yeah.
These guys, we were seeing them every day.
Every day for 4 days. And
yeah, I could have made a better effort.
But it was really, really interesting. It's an interesting experience. We drove down the day before and stayed overnight in a hotel.
Long Beach,
yeah. The day before, like, we couldn't have asked for better driving conditions because we were all really kind of freaked out because the night before it had snowed over the Grapevine.
They like almost closed the Grapevine.
Yeah, and we were like really nervous about it. But because we left here around 9 because we were expecting a lot of traffic and we were expecting, closures on the Grapevine and stuff like that. But by the time we'd gotten to the Grapevine, everything had cleared. It was sunny. There was no snow, some high winds, but nothing too bad.
Even then, the winds weren't really that bad.
Yeah, I mean,
a few gusts.
You weren't struggling to keep control of the car.
Yeah, and our car is very square.
Yeah. So and even when we got into downtown LA, because it was kind of the middle of the day, we didn't really hit all that much traffic. We got into the Diamond Lane and were able to ride that all the way through. And
those Diamond Lanes are great. I didn't know if we were supposed to be in there, but we used it.
Well, I mean, we had 4 persons in our car, so we qualified. 3 adults and a child.
Yeah.
But, because my brother rode down with us because my mom and my stepdad took their truck. So it
worked out. We got an extra person, but they had all the luggage.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because the first leg of the journey is just 2.5 hours of flatland getting from, where we are to the edge of the valley. So I took that driving stint. My mom always tells me I drive too fast, but I don't think I do. But I was able to lose them.
Way safer driver than me.
But I was able to lose them not too quickly. They kept up for a while. But, one time I looked in my rearview mirror and they were just nowhere to be seen. It was like, oh, well, I hope they're okay. So we knew where we were going to meet up.
We are not the Marines. We will leave a man in the field.
Well, my stepdad, like the last time we took a road trip with him, he was driving me nuts. Because he's one of those people that will do the speed limit on the freeway.
No matter what.
No matter which lane he's in. And he was driving me nuts. But, right before our little meetup place, so they were able to catch back up. It's like, well, you had to be going pretty fast to catch back up with me.
I don't think she ever answered that text.
No, she didn't. But I think she said they were going 80. But I mean, I was only going 75. But whatever. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, going over the Grapevine, it was great conditions. There was very little traffic.
Couldn't have asked for better, couldn't have gotten better if we'd planned it, if we'd tried, if we'd asked.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And,
I mean, it was picturesque because you're driving through the Angeles forest, good part of it. Just to describe it for the folks there, you're on a highway going through a mountain pass and you look around because it's January and there's a lot of rain. Everything's green. All the vegetation is bursting.
And the sky is so clear and blue and it's wonderful.
Perfect azure blue skies.
And like the mountains off in the distance, just dusting of snow on them.
Like frosted.
Yeah, it's like sugar,
powdered
sugar.
Like somebody had just spilled a bunch of powdered sugar over the tops of the mountains.
Yeah.
Just perfect.
But because we hit such great conditions on the drive down, we got there... What, like 1, something like that. I think it was like around 1 o'clock. Yeah. And our rooms weren't ready yet.
Well, we thought we were supposed to check in at 1, so that's why our goal was like, we're going to be there just about check-in time. Boom.
But it turns out check-in time was like 3. So
so we had a little time to kill. So we
went and got some lunch and we're like, okay, well, we got to do something to keep Lily occupied. So we found a park nearby on a map, and me, Mark, and Lily went there to just kind of, kill some time. I don't know what the rest of my family did.
Put a map. It was a great little park.
Yeah, it had this cute little lighthouse on it and lots of history things posted up around the area and maritime history and whatnot. And you could see
Long Beach has had a major role in a lot of West Coast history.
Yeah, we weren't able to sit there and read all of it because Lily was...
all over the place,
but
the poor thing had just spent 3 hours
in the car and
freedom.
Yeah, well, that's why we took her there, so she can run around and get her energy out. But like from the park we were at, you look across this little river and you can see our cruise ship is docked right next to the Queen Mary. So you got this Queen Mary and our cruise ship, and the size difference
I know
was ridiculous. I have a picture I took of Lily with the 2 boats in the back. You can put it up here.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them.
Yeah. But yeah, the size difference between the 2 boats was ridiculous. The cruise ship was way, 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 way bigger.
Yeah.
But
now the Queen Mary was a pretty sizable ship in her day.
Yeah.
She was launched, I looked this up, 1936 when she was put into service. She was finally retired in 1967. And so she was pretty sizable, pretty notable, but she's so small by today's standards.
Well, like you've seen memes and stuff like that where they put the Titanic up against a modern day cruise ship and it's dwarfed in comparison. But
yeah, we were on the cruise ship, Radiance.
Yeah.
And that thing is like, Future Me looked this up. It's about like 900 feet long. I forget how wide. 11 decks. Enormous.
It was a little mini city.
It really was.
Yeah. It had just about everything on there. But
it's like, that's about 1/5 of a mile. Do some math, me. Because I know a quarter mile is 1420. And that thing's like 900. So that's like more than 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah. So, Yeah, once we got our rooms, we went back, and my brother was already there. He was watching Be Cool.
It's still funny.
And
it's still funny.
And South Park. And so we just hung out that night. And, well, we went out to dinner. Everyone else just had pizza ordered it. My family loves, my mom and my stepdad especially, love to have delivery.
I know.
We like to go out. They like to have delivered. So they're like, we'll get DoorDash, get some pizza. I was like, it's so expensive to just
DoorDash stuff,
especially as often as they do.
Well, this is something that you and I have made kind of a traveling custom. If you're going to go somewhere you haven't been before, why go a huge distance to somewhere you've never been before and then just get McDonald's?
Yeah, that being said, we did eat at a chain restaurant, though.
Yeah, we did.
We went to the Black Bear Diner.
Which we rarely ever go to.
Yeah, the only time we go to the Black Bear Diner is when we go visit my dad in Tulare, which is once in a while.
So for us, there's still novelty and a slightly exotic one. There is one here in town, but it is on the extreme opposite end of town. It's a good 40 minutes out from our house.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, their food's good.
It is good.
But
some good chicken and waffles.
I had a burger, but I had a melt or something like that. I don't remember. It was good, and I had onion rings. That's what
Those
I remember.
were good onion rings.
Those are good onion rings.
She gave me the last one. She couldn't finish it, and it was just a little nubbin at the end of the onion.
It was mostly batter.
It was mostly batter, but it was dang good. But it was good chicken and waffles.
But the hotel we stayed at, I think there's a few hotels in that area that do it because of the cruise lines being so close. If you stay there, they will allow you to keep your car parked there while you're on the cruise. So we did that. They had this underground multi-level garage, and it was very nice. It was a Hilton. Yeah. And
so travel trip, Hilton and Long Beach, good place to stay.
Yeah, they were very nice rooms.
They were informative and entertaining.
Yeah, it wasn't very comfortable because I kept falling out of the bed because you had three of us squished into one bed. Me and Mark and Lily all squished into one double bed because my brother, bless his heart, is not used to sleeping with other people.
No.
So whether I was squished in a bed with them two or squished in a bed with my brother, either way, I would be being kicked out of the bed. So I was like, it's a lose-lose situation. I'll just pick one.
Yeah, and ASOS, he troopered through for things because he had a rough night the night before we left town.
Yeah,
none of us slept that night in the hotel.
No,
and
you when you travel, you have to take earplugs if you want to sleep. Because
if you're a light sleeper, yeah.
Yeah, because people are jerks. And you're always surrounded by the people who don't know how to close the door quietly, who has at least one kid that's running up and down the hallways yelling. Some people who don't know how to talk quietly. People get in a hotel hallway and they think, no one else can hear me.
Yeah. Yeah, so at all hours, there will be somebody walking down the hallway, talking way too loudly to their fellow traveler or whatever.
Slamming their doors.
Slamming the door. You know, and
always, every single time, without fail.
Earplugs. They're available at any
drugstore, pharmacy,
Rite Aid, Walgreens, Walmart, Home Depot, Bass Pro Shop, anywhere you can think of.
Yeah, so I put in earplugs that night because I had Lily sleeping right next to me. It's like, okay, if she has a problem, she's right here.
Yeah, one of us would have reacted.
Well, yeah, but I think I was the only one that night that wore earplugs. Yeah. And so Aaron was up all night because of people being loud. And
he was not ready for that.
No. And
then we got on the ship, which had a double bed, a single bed, and there was this cool fold-down
bunk thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first night he took the bunk.
Yeah, Aaron took the bunk.
And he didn't use earplugs that night either. And right above us, the floor above us was the Lido deck.
We didn't
know that the first night. The Lido deck is where all the restaurants are. That's where all the things happen on the Lido deck. And right above us was the chicken...
Shack's Big Chicken
restaurant. So all night long, people moving, scooting chairs. It was loud.
Yeah,
it was
and
really
every
bad.
time like something moved down the hallway, or because it was a fold down, it kind of folded down out of the ceiling. It's like in the ceiling, and then a boop, and then boop.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, really neat.
Lily loved it. She thought she was sleeping up there. I was like, no.
No, because you'll fall. She would have rolled. She rolls around a lot. She would have fallen out.
She did actually fall out of the bed.
Yeah, she was horsing around.
But she was no. While we were sleeping, she slept in the double bed with me on the ground level.
Yeah.
And that last night she rolled right out of it. And
At least and the carpets were pretty soft, so it was not far. No damage. She's fine.
Yeah, she was fine. She was fine. She
kind of
got back up, went back to sleep. So
yeah.
But anyway.
Being attached to the ceiling, every time something heavy moved past that, like a cart or something, the whole thing would wobble. So Aaron's didn't sleep the night before. None of us slept in the hotel. And then that first night on the bunk bed, he didn't sleep then. So
like the fourth night, I gave him earplugs, and he took some of his insomnia medicine, and he's like, I finally slept. He took the lower bunk. Mark took the top bunk. He's like, I finally slept, and it was so nice.
Yeah, the poor guy, he soldiered through. He kept his, was still being a fun guy.
He wasn't cranky or anything. He just kind of kept going. But
that's why he's A-sauce. He's awesome sauce.
But yeah, checking in, it's just, what do we do? Where do we go? Luckily, they had, we had my mom and stepdad there, and lots of people directing you where to go. So
yeah, and another problem with travel is, and we're no exception to this because we've never been on a cruise before, you're surrounded by 3,000 other people that don't know where they're going. And there's only so many staff members on hand who can only answer so many questions at once. So asking a crew member, hey, where do I go for this? Sometimes you got to wait in line or try and figure it out for yourself. So having them on with us to kind of guide us through, like, we go this way, they go this way. Where's what's a muster station? I don't know.
Yeah, I never heard of a muster station before.
I mean, I kind of know what muster is from reading all this military history, but I imagine that most people haven't. So they're just like, muster, like put on hot dogs?
Yeah, that's what I said the first time. I was like, why do we need to go get some mustard?
Which it has nothing to do with mustard on hot dogs.
It's the safety thing, put on in case of an emergency, put on your life vest. Let's go here. These are the lifeboats, And
there was life vests in our room too.
Yeah, there is life vests for everybody. And
yeah, when you get in there, our cruise director Rico.
Rico.
There you go. I can't roll.
Rico. He was a fun guy.
He was a really fun guy.
He did all the announcements. He said, "This is your cruise director, Rico." And we saw him, like, they did this reading of Horton Hears a Who by Dr. Seuss. We saw him. He was doing the reading. He's this tiny little guy.
Oh my God, he was a wisp. His personality was larger than him.
Yeah, his personality was definitely bigger than he was, but...
But yeah, I was like listening to some of the announcements as we got in there. I'm like keeping an ear. I was like, is this important? Does this pertain to us? What's happening?
Yeah, whenever there was announcements, like, do we need to know this? No.
Yeah, I was like, and check to see if there's all your safety equipment is in your stateroom or is in your cabin. Like, safety equipment? Just go open through the doors. There's like 3 closets. Like, oh, hey, look at that. Life vests in our room. Cool. So if the ship starts to sink, bam, we got it. You just put on your life vest and jump.
No, you put on your life vest, report to your muster station, and get on the damn boat. You can jump, but I'm going to the boat.
Cannonball! This is why women live longer.
Yes. But yeah, the first day was just getting settled, experiencing the buffet and the eating areas, which are always crowded. Always.
If you go on a cruise, you're only going to need, like, whatever size. Here's how you pack. Think about what size clothing you wear normally.
And take about 2 sizes bigger.
Right.
Because you're going to need them by the time you
leave. The number one thing you do on a cruise is eat.
And they have
tons of food.
Tons of food. There are several restaurants and a buffet that were included in the price of the cruise. There was a couple specialty things that you did have to pay for.
Yeah.
But the majority of the food there was included in the cruise, so you could just go crazy.
And quite tasty.
Yes. They had the Guy Ferry burger place. They had really good burgers. The Shack's Big Chicken had great chicken sandwich. Even the buffet wasn't that bad. So
yeah, I mean, at worst, I would say it was some of it. A few items were mediocre. That's the worst thing I could say. The rest, I would say, quite very good.
Yeah, if you like soda, then, too bad soda you have to pay for. But they had a good supply of lemonade and iced tea.
And coffee.
And coffee. Oh, their coffee was good. They had good coffee.
And it was always hot and always on tap.
Yeah, they had a good cup of coffee, man. And
And tea.
And tea, yeah.
Right next to the coffee pot was the hot water supply and this container of Lipton tea, decaf and regular. It's like always on hand. Like, yes.
It was great.
Yeah. I didn't try. There was one thing I didn't. There was a couple places I didn't try. There was a little sushi bar in there I thought about.
I think you had to pay for the sushi bar.
Okay.
But it would have been nice to go check them out. But
there was also a deli.
I didn't go to the deli. I think Aaron and Mom did. I think they got some wraps from there.
They said they were good.
And they were good.
I also didn't try the little Cantina Mexican restaurant there.
Yeah, me neither. And I didn't try the pizza.
The pizza was okay. It was a very thin. I love the way Aaron described it. Him having worked at Me and Ed's and been professional.
Knows his pizza.
Aaron's a professional. Whatever he does, he wants to do well.
And he wants other people to do it well too.
He can't stand if you're half-hearting it, he's going to call you out on it and he's going to tell you up your game. So when he got these, he's like, yeah, it's pretty good for conveyor belt pizza. It's hard to control the temperature and such for going through a conveyor belt.
And, our cabin was right below where they made the pizzas. And every now and then we'd walk into our cabin. It's like, it smells like pizza in here.
Pizza and fried chicken.
Pizza and chicken, yeah.
Which was, the fried chicken was good.
Yeah,
the Shack's
Big Chicken. It was definitely.
There was usually a line, so that's why it's like.
Yeah, I only ate there once because there was usually a line, and
it's like I don't feel like waiting in this line. I'm gonna go somewhere else. But it's like.
Yeah, you're gonna wait in lines no matter where you go. Even the buffet, you had to wait.
Yeah. The lines were usually short and usually moved pretty quick.
Yeah.
Especially the buffet. So it's kind of like getting on Pirates of the Caribbean. The lines are long, but they move quickly.
Mm-hmm. That's how we felt getting back on the first stop the day after we disembarked was Catalina Island. And it's
the Tinder boats.
Yeah, it's a cute little island. Yeah, but we took a shuttle front because it was
such a big damn boat.
It's a big damn boat. They didn't have docks, and there are reefs around, so they couldn't get the ship too close to
directly into the port.
Yeah, so we had to take a little shuttle.
Get off the big boat, get into a small boat.
I have to say this about Carnival Cruise Lines. If you have a child with special needs, they are incredibly accommodating. It was so that they accommodated so well for Lily. We
go to the guest services counter and ask about the sensory packs.
Yes, we did that. Well, when we first checked in, before we even got on the boat, we were talking to the lady who was checking our documents and all that stuff, and we mentioned that Lily was autistic, and she's like, oh, I have an autistic child as well. And she's like, when you go to guest services, ask about the sensory pack. And my stepdad had looked it up previously too, so we did that. And you have to put a deposit down, but in the pack
$50.
Yeah, but you get it back as long as you take everything back. There was some ear protection, but
pretty good ear protection.
Good ear protection. I mean, we had already brought her some, but it was good to have a spare. Some fidget toys.
Yeah,
like three fidget toys in there. A little card so she can point out how she's feeling. A little emotions card.
which luckily Lily speaks really good,
yeah,
but a lot of autistic kids are nonverbal.
Yeah, nonverbal, so that card helps. A list of places where things get a little bit loud and maybe avoid these places on the ship. And there
was little symbols like when at every elevator station where all the elevators are, there's a ship map, and there was little symbols, it had a little heart symbol or something like that, where loud things are.
Yeah. And there's a little VIP lanyard in there, which we abused the hell out of that thing.
We did.
We abused the hell out of that thing because this was shorter. That little VIP badge meant shorter wait in lines.
Family of 6 for accommodating one kid.
One kid, and it came in so handy though because the line to get onto.
I don't care if I get the deposit back. That was $50 well spent.
Right. The line to get onto the little boats to get into Catalina Island, went the length of the ship. It was a long line. So my mom went and talked to employee, and she's like, we have this girl, she's child, she's autistic. We got the VIP pass. Where do we go? Do we still have to wait in this line? He's like, no, go this way around here. Your premier access. So we followed these other people who he directed there, and
they got a whole system to special needs people, man.
Yeah, and people with mental disabilities, physical disabilities, what have you. So
they're on it.
They got
it.
You. Yeah, it's so nice to have a vacation system like this that is accommodating to children with special needs.
Yeah,
it's very refreshing, and every little bit helps. It really does. So we were able to bypass this maybe hour and a half wait time
into a 20-minute wait time.
If that. It was probably less, probably about 15 minutes from getting in the line to leaving on the boat.
Yeah. And similar coming back. We had to get it, coming back, everyone was in one line.
But it was kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean. It moved really quick. They were able to put a lot of people in those shuttles.
Yeah.
And as one's leaving, another one's coming back, so they had a really good system down.
I think each boat holds 60 people.
Something like that.
So the lines coming back from the island was boom, boom, boom. And they said it over and over and over again. It's be back by this time, no later than 3:30. Restart shuttling at 3:30.
They will leave you if you are not back in time. They cannot wait for all the
3,000 plus people to get back on the ship.
To get their ass back on the ship.
You're either on the boat or you're not or off the boat.
And even if you're not back on the ship by the time the ship leaves, the transports going from Catalina to the ship stop maybe an hour before the ship is scheduled to disembark. So you're SOL if you, especially at Catalina, you can't rent a car and drive home.
You're on an island.
You have to find a transport back to the mainland, then rent a car
and if all the transports have shut down for the night, find a hotel,
and they ain't cheap.
No, everything's expensive on islands,
especially vacation destinations.
Yes.
But
we had to find a grocery store.
Oh, yes. The only one we found was Vaughn's.
And even then, it was well stocked.
Yeah, it was well stocked. It's like you're going to this place. Yeah, it's a vacation destination. Yeah, there's lots of tourists, but people still live there to man the stores.
Yes.
So they need to have some sort of place to go to buy food.
Hey, man, they got to eat too. They got to, what's really surprised me was the number of cars was very minimal. It's
no. Yeah. Everything was golf carts.
Yeah.
And taxis.
Yeah.
That was it.
Instead of, all the traffic was gas-powered go-karts. Or golf carts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really done-up golf carts wandering around.
We didn't stay too long on Catalina. I mean, we walked around.
We didn't know. We didn't know how
long that line to to wade in to get back on the ship was going to take. So
yeah, so we didn't want to get left behind, so we were very punctual about getting back to the dock on time.
Well, what happened is we got onto Catalina Island, and Lily, bless her heart, she's got this internal radar system.
Yes.
And she can spot a playground.
She can
through a forest. She can find a playground. And so we're walking along, we see a playground, we're like, hey Lily, look over there, look, boats, ooh, ocean, look at those boats. And she's looking right at the playground. Yep. It's like, okay, if you're good while we go do our thing, we'll stop at the playground before we get back on the ship. And she
held up her end of the bargain, so we had to hold up ours.
Yeah.
So we had to go to the grocery store because one of the things about packing is they say if you're going to bring something on board, make sure it's in a sealed container. Mm-hmm. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's for safety. Maybe they just don't want somebody's jug spilling in the luggage. I think it's
for like food contamination, something like that. I don't know.
So for whatever reasons, everything's going to be sealed. So we didn't take any of her almond milk. Lily's lactose intolerant.
So yeah, they said you can get some on the ship, which we did. But it was a real faff. It was hard to do.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and
it was a matter of going to the buffet area, a restaurant area,
finding a attendant.
Yeah, and then flag them down and then ask for it and wait for them to bring it back.
And they usually just bring a little cup like this.
Yeah.
So we decided we didn't know if we'd have. No, excuse me. Didn't know if we'd have a fridge in our cabin or not, and we did.
Well,
that's why we didn't take it in the first place, because we didn't know if we were going to have a fridge or not. I use the word fridge loosely because they didn't put it in a very good spot.
Not only that, but on like the second day, I noticed a tag on the inside. This is a mini bar. It is not a fridge. If you have medication that requires refrigeration, please contact guest services.
Yes, it was a mini bar, and it said that on the front, but there was nothing inside of it when we got there. The only thing we had that may have been mini bar-esque is 2 big bottles of water, and they were sitting on the counter. Countertop.
Maybe if we'd bought the drinks package.
I don't know. But either way, there was nothing in that refrigerator. It was a refrigerator. We needed it.
It did work. It did serve its purpose. Yeah. It kept the milk
coldish.
Cold enough to not go bad.
Because they put it in a closet. And there was no ventilation in that closet. So it was just breathing its own exhaust.
Yeah. Refrigerators make cold. Folks at home, you could try this one. Don't put your hand kind of towards the back of your refrigerator.
Don't touch anything.
Don't touch the coils, but just kind of get near the coils and you will feel how hot they can get. Especially after you hear your fridge kick on and cycle, those coils get hot.
So when we started propping the closet open, then it got cold.
Yeah.
So it could breathe. But getting our own milk and keeping it on hand was a lot easier. So
yeah. So that was a good move on our part. And
so we walked around, visited some shops, got some lunch.
Aaron got a couple hats.
Yeah, Aaron got a couple hats.
We took a lot of cool photos.
We ate at this Mexican restaurant, and it was good. We got a sampler platter, a appetizer type thing, with a bunch of different everything, and it was really good.
I had never, even the calamari.
Yeah, they had calamari, which you wouldn't expect in a Mexican restaurant.
And you usually don't get, like when we've gone to fancy sushi restaurants, you usually don't get the calamari because it's usually very thick and kind of chewy. They had managed to cut this very thin.
And it was
crispy.
It was crispy and you didn't chew at all. It was actually really good.
Almost dissolved. It was like, how did they do that?
Yeah. And I got some taquitos and quesadillas and it was all really good. But
good salsa.
Yeah.
Good times were had.
I felt, I love my family. I really do. But some members of my family just always see the bad in things, where we like to focus on the good parts. So we're having this grand old time. And meanwhile, my mom, my stepdad are just over there being all grumpy and groaning. And so, oh, this tastes terrible. It's like, I'm sorry. We're enjoying it.
Well, see, because we know, and this is actually kind of a conscious effort of ours that we both undertake. We know how horrible the world can be. We've watched enough documentaries, read enough history, you see the headlines in the news. We know the world can be a dark, scary, awful place full of people that are doing terrible things. And that's why we focus on the good things that are happening around you. Enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the birds, enjoy, even if you don't like the birds, just enjoy them chirping around. But, just enjoy a cookie.
But there are some people, and a lot of it's just the way they were brought up, that they have to see the bad in everything and they have to complain about everything. And my mom's not naturally that type of person, but my stepdad is. And she spends all her time with my stepdad, so it rubs off a little bit. So once we get my mom away from my stepdad, she's fine.
She can have fun.
Yeah, she can have fun. She, finds the fun in things like we do. It's just, and he actually toned it down a lot. Mm-hmm. I think she got onto him a couple times about being positive and not so negative on this trip, because I heard her say to him once, "What did I tell you about being negative?" So,
he can't help himself.
He really can't. It's just
for
how
whatever
he's hardwired.
Reason, some childhood trauma, maybe. It's just wired into him.
Yeah, but
maybe it's something his parents were. Maybe his parents were that way, and it's just kind of soaked in from his childhood. I don't know.
But all that being said, they did treat us to a cruise, so I'm trying to be nice. So,
yeah, we gotta do something for them.
Yeah, definitely. So Lily had all kinds of things to do on that ship.
Out of all of us, she had the most fun.
I think she had the most fun, and I'm okay with that. She
makes her own fun too.
She really does. Well, we discovered an arcade on the ship, and that was her favorite place to go. She loved that arcade. Anytime we got anywhere near that arcade, she's like going in that direction. Like,
oh no, she knew the hallway down the hallway away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
she knew how to get to that arcade.
Yeah, because there's a couple. The ship is laid out in a certain ways. It's like almost like a shopping mall that.
There's like 2 decks that go from one end to the other.
Yeah, well, most of the decks do that, but it's like all where everyone's cabin rooms are. But deck 9 is where all the food is, and deck 5 is where most of the bars and activities. That's where
there are so many goddamn bars on that ship. That ship is one big bar.
Oh my God, yes. There was. Let's see. Okay, there was at least 3 on the Lido deck. There was the central one near the glass elevators.
The promenade, yeah.
The promenade. There's.
There's
you could stand at one and like throw a piece of paper at a person in another one. Like, hey, Steve, come here.
There's the one that was like the veterans bar.
Heroes, the Heroes Memorial Bar.
Yeah. There was a bar in the Liquid Lounge. There was a bar
the Liquid Lounge was the auditorium.
Yeah. There was a bar by the pool. there was a bar everywhere. There was
one next to the pizza shop, next to the smaller pool.
You couldn't take 3 steps and not be in a bar. There was a bar in the casino. There was a casino on board. But
Lily kept wanting to play those. Like, no.
Yeah, it's like, no, these are arcade games for adults, honey.
But you have to take deck 5. That's where a lot of deck 9 is where all the food is. Deck 5 is where a lot of the activities are and all the bars. So if she is so aware of her surroundings.
She
sometimes.
Really is. She takes into everything. That's just part of.
By the time we got off the elevators and got to the casinos,
she knew where the arcade was from that casino.
Yes, she knew the rest of the way, and she would start to pull you in that direction.
And unfortunately, there's a candy shop right next to the arcade, and we liked to go to the candy shop because they had good candy.
Really good candy.
It was cherry on top, is what it was called, and. So we'd be going in the candy shop, and she's making her way to the arcade, which is like right next door. It's like, no, just wait with us.
Just give us 5 minutes, kid.
Let us shop for our candy, then we will take you to the arcade. And we always, when we make a bargain with her, we hold it up. And she had so much fun. She hit a jackpot, I guess.
She did. We were playing, and this is how they get you. Mm-hmm. Science, man. If you're using a card, you will spend more than you do spending cash.
Yeah, it's a cashless system. You either use your credit card and link it to your cabin key card, or you put cash down and link it to your cabin key card. Everything on the ship is paid for through your cabin key card.
Yeah, which
it's over there.
I like my wallet. Oh well, but it's the size of your driver's license.
Yeah, it's like
it's
a normal key card you get like from a hotel.
Yeah, and so all the games in there, or like pretty much every other arcade now, they all have those point systems. Well, this one is like, it tells you what it's charging per game. It's like $1.50 per game, and you don't think about it when you're swiping it. And I spent way too much in that arcade. That's how they get you. But she was having such a good old time, and yeah, she was. Most of the games in there were ticket redemption. Mm-hmm. She was pretty good at them.
Yeah, they had this little like cyber coaster thing, which we didn't know how she'd react to it. She kept wanting to get on it, and it has this little headset, goes over your eyes. And I didn't know if she was going to freak out or not, but
she loved it. She went loved on it twice.
Really?
Yeah. When I took her back onto it, we both went on. It was like pretty neat. It was themed off the game Rabbids.
Rabbids, yeah.
Yeah, it was a video game back a while. I hope that's not coming through. Somebody's got their motorcycle running.
It is coming through, but somebody's revving their motorcycle way too loud, real close by.
No, there they go. They left.
Yeah. Anyway, so she loved the arcade. She loved the mini golf. Oh, she loved that mini golf, and I guess he went and did a lot of stuff with her while I was like staying behind for resting.
Oh yeah, the ropes course.
The ropes course. He actually got her to do the
ropes course kind of thing going on, and it was different stages. There's all these different things you go through, like a stepping stones, and then a balance beam, and then you shimmy along 2 ropes. Some of them she was a little shaky on because she didn't quite understand what you had to do. And it's kind of this big...
And she's just kind of holding on to you the whole time.
Well, here and there, like the balance beam, I'm like, no, slow down.
Because you're in a harness.
Yeah.
So you can't fall. But
which is good because you're like 15 feet up, 15, maybe 20 feet up. And the harnesses are, the maximum weight is 300 pounds. It's like, well, I'm 200, she's 50. So if she does slip, this will hold her. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't worried about that, but yeah, she powered through the ones she didn't like. She powered through them by holding on to me. And the ones she did like, she wanted to keep doing them.
Oh, bless her heart. Like go back and forth?
Yes.
Say, sorry, honey, it's a one-way.
It's a one-way.
And there's people behind us.
And it's, it's a ring.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they do it that way on purpose. That if the attendants need to get to somebody at one point, they don't have to go through the whole thing. They can kind of go. They could just go up and clip in and go get somebody. Mm-hmm. And because all the attendants, they put you in these harnesses. Well, they're all wearing harnesses, and there's always
in case there's an emergency.
Yeah, 3
very attentive. They were very attentive.
Very professionals.
Yes.
And 3 very muscular guys are all wearing their harnesses as they're getting you in your harness. And so it's a loop. So as we're getting towards the end, you take the stairs up, do it, come back, and you take the stairs down to leave. Well, we got all the way down to the end, and she's like, well, let's keep going.
It's like, no, baby.
Like, no, we got to go down the stairs. No, Dad, this way. This way. She doesn't realize that it's, you're starting over again. It's like, no, sweetie, we got to go down, get in line, and do it if you want to do this again.
Bless her heart.
She was having too much fun with that.
Yeah, well, yeah, like you said, I think she had the most fun because the second day we docked at Ensenada in Mexico, and we didn't stay there that long. I don't know what I was expecting. Cruise ships. There was another cruise ship there. We weren't the only one. Cruise ships have been docking and going to Ensenada
for quite some time.
For at least 25 years, because that's when my mom and stepdad took their first cruise.
They got married in Catalina.
Yeah, they got married in Catalina, and then they went to Ensenada.
That's been literally 24
years.
24 years
this year. But so it's been a long time that cruise ships have been going there. I expected it to be at least a little bit nice. It's a holiday destination. You'd think they would be a little bit nice, but no. It's
Mexico,
like going to the bad part of town here. So we didn't.
There were the parts near the dock were clean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The playground was good.
Yeah, like once again, Lily was able to spot a playground through all these little buildings, and it's like,
She's
okay,
got a radar, man. If there's one within a half mile, she can find it.
So we're like, okay, be good while we go do our other stuff. We'll hit the playground on the way back. So we hit a few shops. There's not really anything to do.
Not that we were
interested in, because we don't go to bars, and we didn't want to stray too far from the ship because we didn't feel like
there's
getting dysentery.
There's apparently excursion packages you can buy where they take you on like mule rides or whatever, but we didn't do that.
And there was something that had to do with tiger cubs that the cruise ship said that we should not partake in.
I think that's a reference to like illegal zoos and cockfights and things like that.
I think it was that there's something like that there, and in the past people had gone to like pet the tiger cubs or something and got bit and sued the cruise ship for it. So
yeah, or done something, been at a cockfight during a police raid and ended up in Mexican jail,
something like that.
Yeah.
So we didn't stay there very long. We didn't want to eat there, so it was getting close to lunchtime. We went and took Lily to we hit a couple shops. Mark got a little thing.
I got a souvenir for
my mom. Got some
Buddy.
vanilla.
Got some churros though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, those were good churros.
That was.
My mom and my brother
bag.
went to get a churro, and they were thought they were getting a churro. They asked for a medium churro. Turns out they got a medium bag of churros. And so we're all like eating these churros because we can't take them back on the ship.
Yeah.
But that's the only food we ate in Mexico, because it became lunchtime. I'm like, I don't want to eat here. I'd rather go eat on the ship. So
it's like we've heard too many stories and we're just looking around and like, no.
Yeah. So we took Lily to this playground. It was a really nice playground. There was actually a security guard at the gate. There was one gate in and out.
And nice fence around it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice
wrought iron
tube steel fence. Deck. Looked good. It looked good.
And it was clean, and there's a security guard there to make sure no kids left with somebody they shouldn't be leaving with.
Well, that little shopping center where they got where we sat down and ate the churros and such, there was security guards between that and the town too, or some sort of check station.
I think other times of the year there's like a carnival there or something like that, but being winter there wasn't a whole lot going on.
Yeah, like where we came off the boat and when it started to go into town, it's like a little mini fairgrounds.
Mark was laughing because like 20 feet from the dock was a soccer field.
Future me, find the picture, put it in. That's like, I'm standing. I woke up really early. I do have a habit, and I was
we were all still sleeping.
So I went wandering around, drinking some of that great coffee that they had, and
he was watching us pulling the dock,
watching the ship make dock. And the first thing that struck me was like, okay, so wait a minute, I'm on the boat. Boat's going this way, and I look to the right, and it's like, I wonder if that's the dock we're going to pull onto. Wait a minute. This is the starboard side of the ship. Port side's over there, but that's the port. How are they going to pull this off? Is there dual-sided on the ship? Nope. They pulled the handbrake and swung the ship around.
J-turned the ship.
They J-turned a 900-foot cruise ship. Hats off to you, sir. They did. And so I was like, what? That was totally worth getting out of bed for. And I'm watching that, and when there was also pretty neat near the I guess customs agent building and such that was there on the dock. They had taken and decoratively had this cool little rock garden thing going, and they had large white stones spelling out the word Ensenada right there too. It should be in one of my pictures. Future me find it and put it in here. Cool. And similarly, I'm watching the dock workers, and I noticed not even 200 feet from water is a soccer field.
They love their soccer.
They do. I guess that's their national. Is that the national sport?
I have no idea.
Like we have baseball, they have soccer. Is that?
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. But
I mean, they have fun doing it though.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time in Ensenada. We went back to the ship and took Lily to the golf course, and
she loved that mini golf. It's a little 9-hole mini golf way at the top of the ship.
Apparently there was a kids center too. We couldn't find it. I had no idea where it was. It wasn't listed on any of the maps. In theory, we've heard people talking about it. In theory, there was a kids center there, but we weren't able to find it. So
I guess if we had asked a crew member, that would have increased our chances.
But she was getting by just fine.
Yeah, she was well entertained.
Yeah, and day 3 was the quote unquote fun day at sea. So we spent all day. There was a channel on the TV that gave the GPS location of the ship, and there's this little yellow line that shows where we've gone. And on this, this channel on our fun day at sea is just a bunch of little circles. We were literally doing circles out in the middle of the ocean for our fun day at sea.
Watching the Navy run drills. That was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Got to see an aircraft carrier.
But I use the air quotes because that fun day at sea was a very queasy day at sea.
Yeah.
Because the winds had picked up and the boat was just rocking back and forth, and I got sick.
You, Viv, and Joe all got sick.
I don't get motion sick very easily.
No.
And up until that point, being on the boat, I was completely fine.
Yeah.
But that third day, the boat was just rocking back and forth, and I was just like, I can't even. I took a Dramamine. I put those little, wrist things on that are supposed to help, acupuncture things to help your queasiness, and I just wanted to stay in bed all day. I was not feeling well at all. And to make matters worse, I had picked up a bugs from somewhere, and I think that's when it really started, because that night I was laying in bed with Lily, and I had chills like none other. And I was like, oh God, I got sick. So, but during the day I tried to make the best of it. I didn't know I was sick yet. And,
well, silver lining, it was the last day.
At least it was the last day. Yes.
All you had to do was make it through that and disembark.
Yeah. So, I spent a lot of time resting that day, but we went to this event for Lily. They're doing this.
The Dr. Seuss.
The Dr. Seuss parade.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because all of these kids met up in one of the bars. Yeah.
I want to chalk that up to just having being the available floor space.
Yeah. And all the kids met up in this bar, and
because it was one of the larger bars.
Yeah.
On deck 5, of course.
On deck 5. And towards the back of deck 5. And Sam I Am, and Thing 1 and Thing 2 showed up. And the employees gave a bunch of the kids tambourines, and we parade, and some parents were holding banners.
Yeah, and the banners had like green eggs and ham,
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish,
Fox and Socks.
Yeah, different Dr. Seuss
books. The banners were made themed off those. And
we paraded from there across the length of the ship to the liquid lounge at the front of the ship, playing their tambourine, singing Dr. Seuss is on the loose. It was so cute. And we ended up in the liquid lounge, and that's when they did their reading of Horton Hears a Who.
Which was great.
Which is so great, because they didn't just read it. They got the kids involved, and they acted it out. And it is so much fun. Lily loved it. She just had this huge smile on her face the whole time.
Our cruise director,
Rico, he had this Cat in the Hat.
Huge red and white striped stovepipe hat.
Yeah, and the Cat in the Hat met us at the Liquid Lounge. There. I
think he was supposed to meet us at the Red Frog.
Yeah, because everyone's like, say, come out, Cat, and this like employee comes out. It's like, no cat. It's like okay, no, Cat. He's waiting for us over there. Okay. But yeah, they got the kids involved. When we say this, you say this, and when they're
Yeah, they had two gals being the uppity kangaroo and the little baby one.
Kangaroo.
And they would stand there like this.
But the star of that show was the guy that was playing Vlad, the blackbird.
Yeah.
That guy was funny. he was all over the place.
High energy.
Energy.
Yeah, they were.
But you get the sense that they don't do this all the time, because all the cast members that are, acting out the play are like trying so hard not to laugh. They're like, laughing and hiding behind a prop. It's like just losing it.
Especially the girl that, was the small kangaroo.
Oh yeah. Me too.
She's like, me too.
And the guy who was playing Horton, he had this big hat that looked like Horton, and he kept cracking up too. Especially when he had to chase Vlad around the auditorium.
Yeah, when
Vlad steals the clover.
Drops it in the clover patch.
Yeah. They went all over the place.
And they had the audience participation, especially the kids.
Mm-hmm.
God, what was it? When he threw it in the clover patch, we all had to have our hands up like this. We were the clover patch.
Yeah, we were the clover patch. And the kids had so much fun. Lily loved it. She just had this huge smile on her face the whole time. And afterwards, she's like, that was great. So
she thought we were going to see it again during the disembarking that we had to go and meet up in the Liquid Lounge. Yeah,
the Liquid Lounge was where
one of the staging areas to disembark
for the premier people with the VIP. Another time we abused that
oh man, VIP. Yeah, we weren't as bad as Wayne and Garth with the backstage pass. We weren't that bad.
Yeah, because there was two different types of
deembarkation.
Thank you.
It's a hard word.
It is. And there was the express one, which we chose to do, which is before everyone else. And then there's the one where you have somebody come by, pick up your luggage, and you wait for them to call your deck number, and then you go out.
Yeah.
The express one's just like, wait here at this time, bring your own luggage. So that's what we chose to do. And it was earlier. So everyone's just waiting. They told us we had to wait like on deck 4 or 3 or something like that.
4.
Yeah. And
because if you tried to go down to 3, they'd send you back up. Yeah. Oh no, it was 5. You had to wait on deck 5 or deck 9.
Yeah.
If you tried to go down to deck 3 where all the ramps are, they'd send you back up.
Yeah.
And they did. We did. We went
down. We went down to deck 3, and they told us we had to go back up, but we said, well, where does the premier access people for the, we have an autistic child here? She's like, oh, go to Liquid Lounge, deck 4. We're like, okay, cool. So we got to sit down.
Every time we asked a question, they had an answer.
They had an answer, yeah.
Or they would flag another employee, hey, come here.
Yeah.
This person has a question.
But, something that was kind of surprising to me, we got the premier access for Lily. Not once did they, question it. They're just like, they didn't say, well, do you have your VIP lanyard? Did you bring this? Do you have this? Do you ever...
Yeah, they just assumed you do.
They just assumed you do. They're like, okay, yeah, you go over here now. It's like...
A total honor system in play there.
Yeah, it was great. Especially for the deparcation, because we had already returned the sensory pack with the VIP thing in it. So, yeah, they didn't ask. They didn't, ask for any proof. They're like, okay, yeah, go to Liquid Lounge. And we got to sit down and wait. But we didn't have to wait very long, because they're like, okay, come on, let's go.
Even the guest services desk is pretty well thought through, because there was a laundrette. There was a self-serve laundry on there, and it ran out of soap. I was trying to do a load of laundry and it ran out of soap, so I poked my head out the door, flagged down somebody, and they're like, oh, okay. There's a phone in the laundrette there. It's like dial 777, which is the number for guest services. I'm like, oh, okay, come down. We went down there. They gave me some soap, and they're like, checked to make sure I wasn't being overcharged, because I tried the machine a few times. It's like, did I do it? I did it, and it's like, no soap. Did I do it right? Try it again. No soap. Well, let me try one more time. Did I do it right? I don't know what I'm doing. Did I do it right? Like, okay, so you've been charged 3. How many boxes of soap do you want? Just give me 2. Okay, and then we'll refund the last one, the third one. Yeah. It was $1.50, but it's like, wow, they're even concerned about $1.50. It's like, wow. But yeah, I was able to get soap and do laundry and laundrettes. On the 3 day, you're only gonna be there for a couple of days, but they had a laundrette.
It was very helpful because we were running out. I mean, we took enough clean clothes, but me and Lily took enough clean clothes. You took as many clothes as you could.
I took, what I figured I tried to take minimal clothing, but after a while, it's like all the dirties and cleans are just going to get shoved in the same pile. It's like I haven't worn this yet, but it smells.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
But that last day, about halfway through, I just, I was feeling queasy from being seasick, and then I was like, I have no energy. I got to go lay down. And Mark took Lily and did stuff, and I just went back to the hotel or the cabin and crashed.
That was when we broke the bank at the arcade.
Yeah.
I think we were there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I actually got worried about them and went to find them. It's like, how long can you spend in that arcade? It's not very big. It's like, what did you guys go do? Where's my baby?
We were perfectly safe.
We were just safe.
Breaking the bank.
But yeah, I was just feeling awful. And the next morning when we were waiting for disembarkation, did I say that right? Something like that.
Nailed it. Close enough. We were getting off the boat.
We were getting off the boat, and I am just like sweating like crazy. I was like just drenched. I was like, it was like I was breaking a fever, but like I hadn't really had a fever yet. Maybe a slight one the night before because I had chills, but it's like I was just sweating like crazy. My throat started getting raspy, and I was just like, okay, maybe I just pushed myself too hard,
Maybe it's just
the seawater and the seasickness getting to me.
Because we all ate and drank pretty much the same stuff.
Yeah. So we left the ship. I was we had a lot of fun, but I was very happy to be off that boat.
One of the joys of traveling is the joy of coming home.
Yeah, so we got a cab back to the hotel and jumped in the cars and hit the road.
We really did, off the boat in a cab in our car.
Stopped for some coffee and then
yeah,
because we hadn't eaten yet.
No, that's true.
Yeah, we stopped for coffee and a small bite to eat and hit the road. But yeah, like I could hear my voice starting to get raspy and go, and I was telling Mark that I wasn't feeling well, and we were planning on splitting up the driving coming home, but I was just like, you're gonna have to do it. I shouldn't be driving right now. And he did a good job. He's a safe driver when other people are in the car.
I usually am a safe driver. I don't take unnecessary risks.
Yeah. So we got home, and I had to take my brother to pick up his cat from my friend's house, who was cat sitting him. But after that, we all just kind of like, I'm gonna lay down.
Yeah, you came home and crashed.
I came home and crashed, and the next day, I just felt awful. Like I had a fever. I took a COVID test. It wasn't COVID, so it was just flu, I guess. But no one else was affected.
Yeah,
it wasn't contagious. Mark and Lily didn't catch it. My brother was in the car with us. He didn't catch it. It was just me. And I think the reason is because I expected to get sick. I manifested it.
You think so?
I think so, because no one else was affected. It didn't even transfer to you guys after I came home. I don't think it was like so much I caught something. It's just my body made something. Because I every time we were walking around the cruise ship and I heard somebody coughing, I was taking notice of it. And everyone I've heard a lot of stories about people who've gone on cruises and came back sick. So I was expecting to get sick subconsciously.
I think Viv and Joe, last time when they went to Hawaii, didn't they catch COVID or something like that?
No, Jen did. Jen did. Jen went on a cruise with her family and they came back with COVID. But Joe and Mom went to Las Vegas and Joe came back with COVID. So it's like when you travel, you're going to get sick. And that was like in the back of my head and my body responded. So that kind of sucked.
And I was fine because it didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah. Him and Lily. They even after we got home and I'm like in bed. I spent like 4 days in bed. And not a thing on them. And I'm so grateful for that. Because Lily was supposed to go back to school on Tuesday.
Monday was a bank holiday. Schools were closed.
Yeah, and so Tuesday she went back to school and it's like, she just took an extra week off of school for, because Christmas vacation ended, then our cruise started.
Yeah.
So she took an extra week off. And she was supposed to go back to school this day. It's like, please don't let her get sick and have to take another week off of school. So,
yeah, that's a lot to miss. A lot to miss.
Yeah, so I was so grateful the two of you weren't affected by that. It was just me. And you probably
the only thing that really caught me up, I'll have to check with Aaron on this, was I think it took me a little while to get my land legs back. You always hear about getting your sea legs, but it took me a while to get my land legs. You spend a couple days doing this, and then suddenly, we got off the boat and into a car. And I didn't really feel it until that night. And then the next morning, after we got back, it really hit me that I would kind of get a little bit of room spin. And it's
just being on terra firma again.
Yeah. At first I was like, is my blood sugar off? What's going on here? Because if I sat still, I was fine. But if I moved too quickly or bent down to pick something up, I would get a little bit of...
Whoa.
Ooh.
Well, yesterday we were at my grandparents' house. We were all there, and we'd mentioned it to my stepdad, and he's like, yeah, sometimes it could take a couple days.
Just to get used to being back on land, back on dry land. And so, if you go on a cruise and that happens afterwards, you're not dying, you're fine. Normal. You're just getting used to... solid ground again.
It was a weird sensation being on a cruise ship because it shifts. The first couple days it wasn't that bad, didn't make me sick, but
you get used to the movements.
You feel the movements, and the movements kind of make you... It's the same movements you feel like when you're dizzy.
Yeah.
But you have to tell yourself, you're not dizzy. This is the ship moving.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're not sick. You're not dizzy. It's the ship. So.
And after a little while, you get your sea legs.
Yeah, you
just get used to it. You don't even think about it.
Except for that third day when the ship was doing this.
Yeah, the third. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little rough.
Yeah, I was like, can't we just we don't need a fun day at sea. Just make port somewhere. I can see Catalina over there. Can we go back there?
I could have done with the second day at Catalina.
Yeah, it's like we don't need to be doing circles out here in the middle. Like as the day went on, the seas got a little bit calmer, but as the evening hit, the winds picked up again.
Yeah, I guess it just has to do with tides, morning and evening. Tide goes in, out. I don't know.
I don't know.
My knowledge of nauticalness, it's not what it should be.
Yeah. And luckily, Lily, she wasn't affected by it at all. I didn't know if she was going to be seasick. It's like, well, maybe we could crush up a Dramamine, put it in her milk or something like that if she gets seasick. But no, she was fine.
She didn't slow down a bit.
It did not slow her down at all. And she had a great time. We had a good time. It was definitely something new.
Overall, totally worth doing.
Totally worth doing. That being said, I don't see myself wanting to go on one anytime again soon.
Maybe next year.
It would be nice to try going on a cruise if Lily wasn't there. I think Lily being there, even though she had a lot of fun, we did a lot of activities with her. It was still parenting, and it was still parenting in a little bit more difficult area. And she decided that, while we were on vacation, she was going to be a little bit difficult. So
here and there, yeah. I think I'm going to chalk at least some of that up to just being stir crazy. She gets a little...
It was a very small cabin. There are 4 people in it.
Yeah.
But,
so she is a very active child. She's very bounding of energy. Yeah. So to get her stationary for prolonged periods of time is trying. It's difficult. And it's difficult on us and it's difficult on her.
Yeah. So if we go again, it'd be nice to go to like just the two of us, and like leave Lily with my mom for a week. But we still had fun.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad. I don't think it was the Thursday. Maybe it was
Wednesday is when we were in Ensenada.
There was one day, maybe it was Thursday, like her and I it was just her and I wandering around. She wanted to play mini golf like first thing in the morning, and I tried to take her up there.
Oh, yeah. Well, you took her on Wednesday, like I went to lay down, and you and her went and found the mini golf course. And Thursday...
It was too windy. She wanted to do it again, but it was like, okay. She's like...
No. It was Tuesday. You took her golfing, and it was Wednesday when we went up there because I could see Ensenada right there. We were at Port, and first thing in the morning she wanted to go to the mini golf. We're like, let's go do our thing, and then when we come back we'll go do mini golf if you're good. And we went and did our thing, then we went and ate, and like it just kept us, just hang on, let's do this, then we can go like all day long. Like she wanted to go to mini golf, and we went up there. We took her up there to do her mini golf, and like she went through all the holes once, and she's like, okay, I'm done. It's like, you've been waiting all day for this. Don't you want to play again? You could play again.
Well, there was another time that she wanted to do that real early, and I'm just like, I don't know, kid. It's been I think maybe it was the Thursday that you were laying down.
Maybe.
And she wanted to go, and I'm like, well, okay, sure. Took her up there. It's just so windy. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think it was Thursday. And it's like, I don't know, it's going to be too windy. She's like, I want to play golf. Let's go golf. Okay. Get up there, and she's just like, the wind's like beating her to death. And I was like, see, tried to tell you.
Yeah, because it is at the top.
Yeah.
It's right next to the big fin.
Yeah. And so, she realized her mistake. Like, nope.
No, let's go.
Let's go. We went down. There was a jogging track, a couple 100-yard jogging track. So we kind of walked that a little bit. And which is directly one down from the golf. So it's
a little bit better.
5% less wind. It's partially enclosed. So that she was like, oh, it's so windy. So we went back down and just kind of wandered. That was when after that we ended up in the arcade because that was on deck 5 and indoors and away from the wind.
So that was probably Thursday. But anyway, so I've gotten better since. I mean, you can still kind of hear it in my voice, and I still cough from time to time. But
yeah, we had so much fun that we wanted to tell you about it right away.
But we're still fresh in our minds.
Yeah. Well. And but Beth had to recover first, because otherwise it's just me up here ranting and rambling, and I'm not funny and interesting on my own. I need somebody else here.
But all in all, and the cost wasn't really too astronomical. I mean, it was a lot high for us because there were so many going. But if you're going with like yourself and one other person, it's really not too bad, and everything's included. There's very little that's not included. And they have, obviously all the alcoholic drinks aren't included. You have to pay for those. But, and sodas.
And there were some people really paying for the booze.
Oh my God. Like we got there, we were waiting to get guest services when we first got on the ship, to get the sensory pack for Lily. And I'm watching the screen that has like all these like package things on it.
It was like $75 for the drinks package.
Yeah, the drinks package, $75 a day for the drinks package. It's like, if granted, these drinks are a little bit more overpriced, but if you're drinking $75 a day, you need to seek help.
Yeah, kind of rethink about what you're doing, man.
Yes,
just kind of because, I was thinking, we were doing some math the other night, and when we were at Mima and Papa's, Aaron and I, was like, you can get a 16-ounce tall boy. And they were about $10, $12 a piece.
But they were big.
But they were 16-ouncers, yeah. And I was just kind of doing some quick math, and it's like, so you'd have to get a 6-pack of those. That's $75.
In one day.
Yeah, and it's like...
If, like...
A 6-pack of tall boys... is your game, Okay.
And that's the minimum. I mean, that's to make
cocktail mixed drink.
Yeah, but the $75 is the minimum. It's like you're probably going to be drinking more than that to facilitate getting the package to having it being a better deal.
Yeah.
It's like you really need to rethink your life choices if that's the route you go. I mean, I could see, okay, $75 for the whole cruise, but for one day, that's a lot of booze.
You don't need that much booze to have a good time.
You do not. No, you don't.
There were some people really tying it on too. The guy who hit on the bridesmaids.
Oh, those guys were bad.
It surprised me that somebody was having their wedding. What's the word I'm looking for? Bridal shower? Bachelorette.
Yeah, there's a group of girls. Well, we were sitting at the buffet, and there's this table of guys. They are sloshed.
One of them especially so.
And these guys are hitting on anything with a vagina. And these girls are like, you could tell they're just like, go away, we're not interested, and just leave. Leave us alone. And this group of girls walks in. One of them's got the bridal sash. The other one's, bridesmaids sash
nice
on.
Dresses,
they're there to celebrate.
Yeah. There was
and they made a beeline for them.
Well, especially, I think some of them were trying to bring their guy, like the one that was like really drunk and being really loud.
And trying to bring him.
Dude, come here. No, dude, come here.
So they had to pass right by him, and of course he right to them, and they're like, lesbian bridal shower, no thank you. It's like they probably weren't, but they said that to keep this guy away from them.
Unfortunately, he was so drunk that the idea
didn't matter.
Guys, lesbians are not interested in you. They're lesbians.
Some guys think that lesbians mean I can have a three-way with two other chicks. No, they're not interested in men. Whether or not they were actually lesbians or not, I think they just said that to keep these guys from, being stupid, which I totally see happening. But yeah, this guy was like hitting on anything that moved, and it was bad,
making a real idiot of himself.
And we're like, because we kind of finished eating, we were just kind of hanging out, and it's like, we better go before this turns into a fight.
Yeah, this is kind of funny now. It could be not funny very fast. Let's go.
Very fast. When you're dealing with drunk people, you never know what to expect.
Yeah, let's go out. Let's go somewhere else and do things.
Yeah.
Let's go look at the art gallery.
I guess they have a brig there because when we were trying to find a place where we were supposed to disembark on the day we got back, I saw people being led out in handcuffs by police. It's like, oh, they had a little bit too much fun.
Yeah, the ship amenities were. One of the times you had gone to bed with Lily, and I was just kind of wandering around. I found an art gallery.
Yeah.
On a cruise ship, an art gallery. It's like, really? Okay.
Yeah, because we still tried to make Lily go to bed at a reasonable hour. So
yeah,
I would go to bed with her, and him and Aaron would go do stuff. So
yeah, him and Joe went and found a bar. Me, I just kind of wandered around. I tried to catch up with them. I was like, I have no idea where they are.
Yeah, our cell phones did not work. Out at sea, there is no reception, no way of calling, where are you, texting, where are you at, no.
Common misconceptions. Your cell phone does not talk to satellites in space. They talk to cell towers around town or wherever, and then the cell tower talks to a big cell tower which talks to the satellite in space, and that's why you can call China. Mm-hmm. So if you're out at sea, there's no cell towers to bounce your signals around, and no, the ship does not have one built into it to be able to talk from one end of the ship to the other. The crew can do that. They have their own little internet system for themselves because they need to be able to do that. You're not. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Once we got into port, they worked somewhat.
Yeah.
But it was still hit and miss until we got back to Long Beach.
Yeah, it was great while we were in Catalina to be able to. They worked great in Catalina. Mm-hmm. It was great, which was really handy because we were able to split up and didn't have to go in one big group through Vaughn's, risking getting separated from each other. Yeah, it was.
So yeah, if you have somebody with special needs, Carnival's very accommodating. I don't know if other cruise liners are as much, but I know Carnival is. So
Yeah, that's the only one we've been on, so that's why we're heavy on that.
So yeah, it's good to do at least once. Yeah.
Get a stamp on your passport.
We don't have a passport. We used our birth certificates, but at least now I can say I've been to a country other than America.
You know what? And that's good technical note there. We didn't have to get passports. We didn't have to go through all that.
We just
driver's license and birth certificate got us on the boat.
Yeah. There's people there. They check your driver's license. They check your birth certificate. They take your picture and link it with your name.
Yeah. When you're first getting there, the building where the Spruce Goose used to be, they take your picture.
Huge dome. It was huge.
Makes me wonder what they do with the Spruce Goose. Where'd it go? It's a big damn plane. It's got to be somewhere.
It's probably in a museum.
Yeah, it's a good place for it, though. That building kind of was a museum. But yeah, you passport and everything. And then as you're getting back on the boats from the stops, that you hand them either your boarding pass, they scan it, and you could see them kind of like scan.
And your picture shows up.
Yeah.
So they know that you're using your key card, not someone else's.
Yeah, the security getting on and off the boat was really great. You scan your pass getting off the boat so that they know who's left. And then they scan your pass coming back on the boat. So they know.
You have to go through security again. Getting any bags you took with you, put them through the machine, going through the metal detectors, the wands, the whole 9 yards. They want to make sure nobody gets on that ship with weapons.
Yeah. And that only the people that are supposed to get on the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
So security was top notch, man. They're on it.
And we had to go through quote unquote customs getting back on the boat from Mexico. It was very quick.
Yeah. You stand in a line, single file. They're out there with the dogs, and they're asking you, fruits or vegetables, and there's metal detectors.
Yeah, they ask to see your ID. They check it, and it's like, okay, go through the security checks. And there was a dog there. Yeah.
Getting off the boat, kind of minimal. Getting into Mexico, it's getting back on the boat. They're a little bit stricter, but you know what? I like that. Because it's like once you're back on the boat, you're safe. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I guess we'll wrap up there.
Yeah, we'll wrap up there. Yeah, they definitely had their stuff together.
Yes, they're definitely good, and it's totally worth doing. And so I guess we'll wrap up, and we will see you next time.
What we'll be talking about, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll play that by ear.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. Leave a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, comment. Have you been on a cruise? Did you have fun? Did it go well?
Know.
Let us know. And to all you already subscribed, thank you. We appreciate that. And we will see you next time. Toodaloo.
Toodles.